Alright, I'm kind of on this kick of Wi-Fi monitoring, intrusion detection forensics, like you saw in the last video with the Sparrow Wi-Fi Elastic Agent and the Elasticsearch and the Kibana. This time, kind of similar, but hoping to replace the alpha card this time finally with the bladeRFxA9 will be the monitor mode interface, and we're going to use a project called Enzyme and then Graylog. You kind of see it talked about here. I've got the page up, the blog of somebody that I think is involved in Greylogs and makes this, and you can kind of see the Wi-Fi security intrusion detection dashboards that you can create, and yeah, it kind of gives you the pitch of why this may be better than some other solutions. Pretty robust, it seems like, and it looks like some updates are coming in the future. Anyways, we're going to break this up into two parts. So I have a laptop running, which is what I have right now, and that is where we'll install Greylogs. And then here in a little bit, we'll jump over to the NUC, which has the bladeRFxA9 plugged in, and it'll be running the Enzyme, which we can see what it collects there, the 802.11 management frames, and then sends them to the Greylog server. So let's start with the Greylog setup first, and we'll just do Ubuntu 20.04. It's a pretty good documentation on installing it here. I don't know that it necessarily needs OpenJDK 8, but we'll just go ahead with what it's showing here. One of these windows. All right, knock that part out. We'll do the MongoDB. Couple parts we're going to need, that and the Elasticsearch. All right, let's see, let's make this a little smaller here. Add the key. Add the repository, and we'll do an update. Go ahead and install it. All right, we'll come down and reload the daemon. Enable the service. They got us restarting it really just as could enable it or start it. And then this last one is just showing you that the service is running, and you can see loaded, active, running. We'll go ahead and pull in what's needed for Elasticsearch. Add the key. And we'll install Elasticsearch. Alright, Elasticsearch is finished. We're going to drop to root, do a sudo su, and we're going to take a look at the elasticsearch.yml file. Change the cluster name to Greylog. Go ahead and enable the Elasticsearch service. We'll try and start it, but we might need to finish up a couple more things. Alright, looks like we've got it started, and we can check that here. It would have spit something out though if it didn't. Let's see, loaded, yep. Now let's jump down, do the Greylogs. That'll add their repository for us, and then we'll run this last line here. I guess we could have skipped the integration plugins and the enterprise plugins. Alright, before we start Greylog, we got to do a couple things here. We'll take a look at the server.conf file, and we're going to need to change a couple things here. We need to set a secret, and it gives you the example to do this here. That'll create that for you. Don't necessarily have to uncomment this, but we'll know it's admin, and then we need to make a password here. Let's see, I'll take this example. I like this one better. And I'll just put password, and then that'll spit out the SHA2. Let's see, copy. I'll put this here and take a look. Default should be 9,000. Alright, leave everything else as is. Go ahead and enable the Greylog service. Minimize that. Pull open another window I had waiting here just so I could tail the log file. It's not started yet. Let's see. Let's see. We should get that log, and I'll restart it, and I'll take a look at this log. Let's see. Okay, it looks like it's connecting. It's connecting to the Elasticsearch. Alright, so that was my mistake. I needed to put 127.0.0.1, and it should be, let's see, admin password will get us in. Alright, so this is only one part of it, and we got to come in here and we need to go to system. Let me see, inputs. We're going to select a GELF TCP. I'll launch that new input, and we'll just call it Wi-Fi, or remember the ports or the port. Won't change it really anything else right yet. So we'll see that that's running. That's only one part of this. Now we need to jump over to the NUC, and we'll go ahead and pull down this code. Actually, nope. We'll scroll down on the Enzyme page because there is a version 1.0. It's actually been mentioned here for a while that's coming, and there's a branch. It's a complete Wi-Fi IDS system. Looks like all in one, possibly. But here we're going to go with the older version, the 0.2.1. We'll download the jar file, and we'll save that, and we'll come back to the main Enzyme page, and we want to take a look at a example conf file right here, and we'll look in. We've got the jar folder file there. We'll copy and paste this default configuration file here, and we'll call it enzyme.conf. Go ahead and paste in here. And because we're going to be using the bladeRFxA9 and it's going to be the only wireless card, we'll go ahead and remove the WLAN 1. And of course you could build out many more channels because you have 2.4 and 5 gigahertz that you can be going through. And we'll change the Greylog address to, let's see, we've got the port number specified here, 12201, and let's see, we'll take a look. We're at 132. Alright, so this should get us connected back to the Greylog server. Alright, and I'm not going to mess with anything there because channels equals WLAN. Yeah, now I'll leave that as is right now. So let's see. So now all we should have to do is set up our bladeRFxA9, and we'll do that in another window here. Come over to yet another page, and as long as you didn't update the kernel on DragonOS Focal, if you do, you just have to rebuild the Mac 802.11 kernel module. But that's already all been done, so we'll just jump down to running bladeRFxA9. We'll sudo mod pro. Oh, actually, let me just show you. So right now there's no wireless interfaces. But there is a bladeRF plugged in. Mod probe CFG 802.11. We'll go in our user source, Wi-Fi build, bladeRF Mac HWSIM. This is all there already for you. And we'll INS mod kernel module, specify radios equals 1. I'm not worried about configuring the network interface piece. We shouldn't need to do that for what we're going to be doing. We'll use the bladeRF CLI to load the .rbf file that's sitting in that Wi-Fi build directory, and that'll load the FPGA. And then we need one more important piece, the Linux Mac 802.11. This needs to be running. And so that's going. We'll leave that kind of in the background. That should get us almost there. Yep, okay. We'll come back and look at the main Enzyme page here. And we already did the part with the Greylog setup. Let's see, channel hopping. Okay, we're just going to keep the default there. Okay. All right. So we should be at the point where we can do sudo and we're going to call on that jar file we've got, and we'll specify the enzyme comp file, and let's see what we get here. Let's see. Let's come back over to our main instance. Okay, we've got one active connection, and we got some network activity. And there we go. Okay, so total frames considered, 1 frames, access points 2. So now we're getting those statistics from the bladeRFxA9 in this case, not a alpha card or something like that. So we are using an SDR to feed Enzyme here, and really Greylog. So now if we come over and set up, let's take for example a dashboard. You're going to have all the information in the fields here, which is not a whole lot yet because not a lot is being processed where I have this BladeRF app in terms of wireless access points and stuff. Let's see, so we can see we're getting messages. And let's jump back over. Let's see. So you can see we're getting more information now. So channel, SSID, source, signal quality. Let's see, I'll just throw a couple out here that are not necessarily identifying. Let's see. two frequencies. So let's see. Frequency channel. So without really putting anything identifying out here, and there's really not a lot of data to show yet, but it yeah, it's really not giving you a good indication. You got the signal strength here, level, channel. And you can feed as many wireless cards as you want in here. And so when I wasn't using the bladeRFxA9 and had some other equipment in, um, SSIDs, any deauthentication, anything that's maybe malicious going on the network, that's all visible and logged, and you can come back and look at it. So I know it took a lot to get to this point where it's set up. And sorry, I don't have something super exciting to show you, but I can't just be putting a bunch of identifying information out here and then trying to blur it all out. So there's alert stream systems, a whole WIDS system here, and like I said, the most unique thing is using the bladeRFxA9 as the actual monitor mode interface to do this all, and it probably would be performing a lot better have had I had better antennas to attach to it, as well as the amps or the LNAs for the receive side. Matter of fact, I only have one on right now on RX1. Um, but yeah, let's see. And there's a whole field with the messages where you can see, you know, deauthentication packets, SSIDs, what's going on the network, so on and so forth. So I wanted to do one more setup of wireless intrusion detection system, just using the software-defined radio, the bladeRF this time. So, all right, thanks.